Lesson 7. The federal government is not compassionate. Neither are most creditors. But the creditors are nicer than the federal government. Who would have ever thought? The federal government, these bureaucrats, they do it by the book, and they don't care about it. They have this like tunnel vision of this is what they can do, this is how they can do it, and it doesn't really matter that you're saving jobs, that you are now paying all the IRS fees and taxes and trust fund money and everything else. All this particular individual cares about is what happened in the past and when am I getting that money. So this was one of the craziest things that anybody ever heard, but the trust fund money, if you don't know what that is, the trust fund money is when a company deducts your taxes from your paycheck. That's considered trust fund money to the federal government. It's kind of like the trust that the company is actually going to deduct it and pay it to the federal government. Most businesses in trouble probably haven't paid that, and that's the case with this. This was like 3 years going back. They owed federal government money. I knew going in that I could be responsible for anything that I didn't pay from the day I walked in, because I was now the signatory on all the checks. So it's my responsibility to make sure the government got paid. It wasn't there for the first 90 days. I figured I would have plenty of time to pay it back. Well, I got a letter saying that they were going to try to get me for all the previous checks that weren't paid on a personal level. We went to attorneys. They said that's not possible. That's not going to happen. We're going to win. We didn't win. So my wife and I go on the hook for $130,000 personally for something we had nothing to do with. And we're still paying that down. So I kept taking the case to the federal government. I talked to my House of Representatives. I won't say which one. And we sat down and they said they go to bat for me. This is crazy. You're paying your trust funds now. You're saving the newspapers. You're saving jobs. This is an unreasonable thing that they're doing to you. Didn't matter. It just didn't matter. So they're very, very tunnel visioned on what they do. So if you ever do a turnaround, make sure you pay your trust fund. Make sure you pay your trust funds. Not only what you're doing when you're in there, but try to pay them, go back as fast as you can. Hindsight being 20/20, I would have cut faster, so I could have paid the government off first. The Department of Justice is still going on. We settled with them for $100,000. And like I said, the IRS, forget about it.